Welcome. Here we are at First Step Science. How are you today? So seeds. All plants grow from seeds, and spring is a great time to have some fun with seeds. So what we're going to do today is set up a bunch of little experiments. And of course, plants take a long time to grow, so you won't see the results of the experiments, but we're going to set up 4 different science experiments, and then we're going to make a seed jar to watch and see what happens to seeds underground as they're growing. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is just take a look at some seeds. Today I brought with me a cantaloupe and a green pepper. And I just happen to have a grapefruit, and I just happen to have an apple, but you might have 1 or 2 of those. So what I'm going to do is change the camera to the table so we can cut them open and see. We're going to go looking for some seeds. So I hope you have some fruit or a vegetable to look at and see what's inside. Here we go. I'm going to the tabletop camera. Okay, so let's get out my cantaloupe. I ate part of this for dinner last night, so I already cut it in half. But check it out. Inside, a lot of fruits. Every fruit grows from seed. And when we cut this cantaloupe apart, there we go. Some tiny little cantaloupe seeds. And there's one on the edge of my knife. Pretty cool. So when I cut this apart, there's the fruit all around it. And the inside of the cantaloupe, where all of the seeds are growing, all of those seeds are attached to the fruit by a little, I can't show you, a little bit of a string, kind of like. It's pretty cool to watch. And of course, when we eat the cantaloupe, we scrape all this out and we just eat the fruit. But look at those seeds. If we were to dry those out, there's the string on the side. If we were to dry those out, we could grow another cantaloupe. So that's inside. So let's take and compare. I put some cantaloupe seeds down here on my cutting board, but let's compare those to a green pepper. So I'm going to cut this green pepper right in half here, and let's see what's inside and how it makes its seeds so we can grow more green peppers. Oh, cool. Look at that. All around the top of the green pepper where this stem was, and inside the green pepper is these little tiny white seeds attached to it by some little fibers. And look at that. It's really a lot smaller, I think, than the cantaloupe seeds. But inside there is the green pepper. I'm going to put them right down by the cantaloupe seeds so we can take a look at them, but they all clump together, all in a big clump right there, and develop on the inside of the green pepper. So I'm going to put that one to the side. Let's see, what else do I have? And that was inside. Okay, whoops. Now, I thought I would cut a grapefruit in half, because sometimes when I eat grapefruits, I run into a seed or 2. So we're going to cut that grapefruit in half and take a look at the seed inside the grapefruit. Oh, I found it. Check it out. Whoops, there we go. Right there. Now, is that attached with a little fiber? Probably. I probably cut it when I cut the grapefruit in half. But look, that's a big seed. Nice, big old juicy grapefruit that I'm going to have to eat later. Whoa, look at that. So I'm going to put that down by my cantaloupe and pepper seeds. And check it out. And yep, I will eat grapefruit later. I'm going to do one more. I got an apple. There's the stem. You know, the pepper had a stem too. Check it out. We're just kind of making some observations. So I'm going to cut this apple in half, and let's look for seeds in the apple. You can look for seeds in just about any fruit or vegetable, and you will find, oh, I cut an apple seed in half. Look at that. I cut that apple seed right in half. It's right in the center where the core is. That's the part that we usually don't eat. And I'm going to have to dig out a whole seed because I cut that seed in half, but it's right in the center. I'm going to dig it out, and I want to compare it with some of the other seeds we found. Oh, there, I found 2 of them. Look at that. There we go. Whoops. Wow. Inside. Okay, so I'm going to put those 2 seeds down here, and then I'm going to hold up my cutting board closer to the camera so you can see those. Check that out. Seeds inside my apple. Well, the apple blossoms started. The flowers grew, and as the flowers got older, they started to develop the seeds inside that apple. All right. Okay, so let's take a look at them all up close. Whoops, got to make sure I'm not having this on camera. There we go. So there's the cantaloupe seeds, and they grew inside the fruit, hanging onto the fruit with these little fibers. All of those are cantaloupes, and those are long and skinny. And there's my big grapefruit seed. Check that out. And the tiniest, the pepper seed, sticking to my hand, and those are kind of flat. And then, oh, look at the color of the apple seeds. They're even a different color. The darker apple seed. There they are all together. Wow, check that out. And if I planted that in the ground, what would I get? Yes, it would. It would grow. It would grow an apple tree first, and then eventually more apples like this one. Yep, all of these would grow. We'd have to dry them out first a little bit. So there's just a little bit of observation and looking at seeds just to see where they come from and how different they all are. So now let's ask some questions and find out what it takes for seeds to grow. Yep, if we planted all those seeds, they definitely would grow. But what do they need to grow? So we're going to set up some experiments, and I'm going to turn back the camera so you can see what we're doing, and you can do it right along with me. Okay, so what do seeds need to grow? One of the things I think that they need, do you think they need light to grow? Do they need the sunshine? Light.
Water.
Yep, light. So that's the first.
And they need light and water.
Oh, light and water? Oh, good. Yep, light and water. We're going to do a couple of experiments, set them up, and then you can watch and see what happens over the next few weeks and days to see what they do. So I'm going to take 2 cups, and we're going to plant some seeds in there. I hope you brought some seeds with you. I brought some bean and pea seeds. There's my beans, and I had some pea seeds in here, and I have some potting soil. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some soil in both of my cups right there. A little bit. I put about half a cup of potting soil in there. So we're going to test. This is an experiment to see if seeds really do need light, like you said. Yes, I think they do, but we're going to test that out. This experiment will show us what happens when seeds have light and when seeds don't have light. So I have 2 cups, about half full of potting soil. And I'm going to put a little water in each one. Not a whole lot. You don't want to flood it because, like you also said, seeds need water. So we're going to make our potting soil a little bit damp in both cups. About the same amount of water in both cups. We don't, like I said, we don't want to flood. We just want like nice damp dirt. There we go. So now you can put a little seed in each one of these cups, and I'm poking my finger down in there to make a little hole to put my seed in each cup. So I've got 2 cups with a little hole down in the dirt for each, and I'm going to put a couple of seeds in each one, down in that little hole that I poked, just because maybe one might not grow, but the other one will. All right, so now I have two cups, exactly the same, just about the same amount of water, the same kind of seed down in the hole, and I'm going to cover up those seeds. And then in one, I'm going to put, I have a box I used this at the Storytime, and it was a treasure box, but it's dark inside there. When I put the lid on this box, there's no light inside. So one of my cups that I put in here, I'm going to put in here, and I'm not going to give it any light. Oh, I wonder how that's going to happen. And the other one, I'm just going to set right on top of here. And I've got a big, nice window in my den. And so the sun shines in there, and it's going to shine on the seed right here. And just so I don't forget what I did, I have some little piece of paper that I'm going to write down here, and I'm going to write light, Light. And I'm going to stick it in the side of my cup so I know that I'm testing out the seed in the dark. Do you think it will grow? I don't know, but there's the seed in the light, and I'm going to set this in my sunny window, and we'll see if we get a plant starting to grow, a bean plant, in a couple of days. So I'm going to set this one over here in my sunny window, and hopefully it really will be sunny in a couple of days. So that's our experiment to test out to see if seeds need light or they don't. We'll find out. A couple of days. All right. So what do you think? Do you think seeds need air to grow? Well, we're going to test that out too. So if you have 2 more cups, we can plant 2 more seeds. We can give one lots of air and one no air. So I've got 2 cups, and I'm going to put potting soil in only one. That's the one that's going to get the air. Okay. So there's my potting soil. And of course, I am going to put a little bit of water in there because seeds need water. Just make it damp. No floods, just dampness. There we go. And I'm going to make sure it's all damp. I didn't put enough in there. Potting soil sucks up a lot of water, I think, sometimes. So you can do this too. So do 1 cup with water, or not 1 cup with water, 1 cup with potting soil, little water to make it damp. And then that's going to be the one that gets air. Now, how are we going to keep air away from the seed? Well, we're going to put the seed in just water, no soil at all. It's going to be down there in the water, and no air can get to it. Well, if you go underwater, you can't breathe. If seeds go underwater, they can't breathe either. So let's plant these 2 cups. I'm going to make a little hole inside my cup here, and I'm going to put a couple of seeds down in that hole and cover it up. And there we go. And then in the one that just has water and no soil, we're going to put some seeds underwater where they can't get air. There you go. Just like that. I put about 3 in there. Okay, so now I'm going to put that close to the camera. There's seeds under there, and there's seeds that I planted in here. So now, just so I don't forget what I'm doing all the time, I'm going to take and stick. I'm going to write on here, air, and stick it in my cup with the potting soil. And I am going to put no air on the cup with just water in it. So I remember what my experiment was all about. Okay. So, yep. And of course, we need to give them a little sunshine. So I'm going to set them over in my sunny window again. How you doing there? I see you have a bowl. So I'm setting these in my sunny window along with my other seeds that I had. And we'll see what happens with those in a couple of days. All right. Well, it's been kind of cold out a couple of days. I even saw some snow. Did you see some snow at your house? No? I did. I saw a little bit of snowflakes coming down. Well, it's cold outside. And so I'm wondering, what do seeds need warm weather and warm temperatures to grow, or can they grow in the cold? What do you think? Well, we're going to see if what seeds like the best. Do they like warm or do they like cold? So I've got 2 more cups, and I'm going to put potting soil in both cups just the same. There we go. Potting soil in both cups. And we're going to test and see if seeds like warm or cold the best. Okay, so there's my 2 cups with just the same potting soil. And again, just a little bit of water, not a flood, just to make it nice and damp for the seeds because they all need water. And again, I'm sticking my finger in there to make a hole for my seeds down inside. And I'm going to put my seeds in each pot, a couple of them. And this time, of course, my sunny warm window, when the sun comes out, it gets pretty warm. So on my paper there, so I don't forget what I did, I'm going to write warm. Warm, warm, warm. Warm for 1 seed. And stick it in my pot. There's my warm. And then I'm going to write another one that says cold. And with this one, you can either, well, it might get warm outside. The weather might change and it might get warm in the next couple of days. So what we're going to do with the one for cold, oh, I forgot, cover up those seeds so they're underneath the ground. Yeah, the one for cold, I'm going to put in my refrigerator because it's always cold in there. And so that's what I'm going to do after this class. I'm going to put the warm one, of course, over by my sunny window. And this one is going to go in the refrigerator that's out in another room. So that's what I'm going to do. And that's what you can do too. You could put it outside for now, but it might get warm. It's spring. It's supposed to start to get warm. And so that might not be a very good experiment if it started to get warm one day. So refrigerator for the cold one. So those are 3 experiments to figure out what seeds like and what they need to grow. And you can check them out in a couple of days. Those plants that you planted, those little seeds, they'll start to grow and you'll see what conditions they like the best. So I have one more crazy, crazy experiment to find out what seeds like. And I have a bunch of different things. You know, we said seeds like water, right? You said that right at the beginning. Seeds like water. And I have a big tray of other things to find out if seeds like them or not. Look at this. I have orange juice and I have some Powerade and I have some sugar and I have some salt and I have some tea. I've got all kinds of goofy things. But what I'm going to do is I have little cups, little ones. I'm going to put 1 seed in each one. And I'm going to scoop from my potting soil seed in each one of my little cups. And I have about 8 of them. But if you don't have as many things as I do to test out, that's okay. You can test out whatever you have. I have orange juice. I have regular water. I have some Coke. I wonder if seeds would like to grow in Coke. Ew, I'm not sure. If I had to guess and make a prediction, I would say no, but we'll find out because I am putting soil in each one of these cups and I'm going to put a different liquid in each one of these cups to see if the seeds actually like them to grow. So let's find out. Okay, so now I have potting soil in each one of these little cups, just like that. Okay, so now it's time to put the seeds in. I'm going to put a seed in each one by poking my little finger down. Oh, that one got a bunch. It's okay. I'm poking my finger down in each and covering up that little seed here in a minute. In fact, let's do that over here underneath the tabletop camera so you can see it better. Here we go. Okay, tabletop. See, that's what I'm doing. I'm poking a little hole and planting a seed in each one of my cups, one at a time. And I don't have any water in my potting soil yet because we're going to test out different liquids and to see if the seeds like that. So now I'm covering up my seeds one by one so they're underneath the ground. I think I already did that one. Yeah. Okay. All right. So now let's test out some different liquids. Now, I'm going to forget which one that I put which liquid I put in the cup, so I have to write it down. So the first one I'm going to do is just regular old plain old water. W-A-T-E-R. Water. So what I'm going to do is put water in one of my seed cups. Just a little bit. There we go. I don't want to flood any one of these, just enough to make the soil damp. And I'm going to stick my little tag in the one so I'll know that's the one that I watered with water. Let's see. Okay, so I have some orange juice next. So I'm going to write on my card, orange juice. So I'll remember that I watered it with orange juice. I wonder if seeds like orange juice. So that's what I'm going to do with this, the next one right here. Whoa, I'm going to water it with orange juice. Oh boy, I wonder if seeds like orange juice. We're going to find out. Okay, so I wrote orange juice down there. I'm going to stick the card in there and see if seeds like orange juice. Okay, so now I have a can of Coke. Oh boy, let's see if seeds like Coke. Remember my prediction? Now you can test out any liquid that you have around your house. Anything will work. To see anything that's different than water. So I'm pouring some Coke on this one. Whoops, did you see that one? Yeah, a little Coke on that one. All right, and I'm putting my sign inside. You can test out any liquids you have. Oh, here's what I did with this was I have a little bit of water, but you know what I did with it? I put a bunch of salt inside my cup of water and I stirred it around. Okay, and I wonder if seeds like salty water. I don't know. What do you think? So I'm stirring up my salty water and I'm going to spoon some over my seed right there. I wonder if they like salt water. We'll find out. And I'm going to write salt on my little tag. Wow. Salt. S-A-L-T. Salt. Okay. That was the one right here. So what do I have left to test? Oh, I have a cup of tea that I made this morning. I didn't drink it. I made it specifically to water one of these cups with. So I'm going to take this one and I think I better spoon it because, you know, I always make a big mess when I don't do it very easy. So I'm putting some tea, just regular tea that I drink in the morning to wake up. I'm putting some tea in this one. All right, so tea. And I'm sticking it in my cup and I have 3 left. So I have some sugar. I wonder if seeds like sugar. So what I'm going to do, let's see, I have a little cup here. I'm going to put some water in it and I'm going to spoon some sugar in there just like I did the salt. Okay, I got to grab my spoon. Put a little sugar in my water cup. Sugar, sugar. Sugar, sugar. I'm going to put a bunch in there. And I stir it up. And pour that in one of the cups. I wonder if seeds like sugar. We're going to find out. And of course, I have to mark it. Sugar. And I'm going to put that in my cup. Sugar, sugar. Oh, and you know what I have? I have some kombucha. I don't know, seeds like that, but it sure is good for people. So, woo, smells weird. So I'm gonna pour that on there. That's got a lot of vitamins in it. It's got a lot of good things in it to help your digestion. It's good for people. I wonder if it's good for seeds. So I'm just gonna mark that with K-O-M. It's a long word that I can't spell, so I'm just gonna put the first 3 letters there. And I have one last thing. I have an energy drink. We're gonna put that in the last one right here. And that's supposed to have some vitamins in it, but it's got a lot of caffeine in it too. I wonder if seeds like energy drinks. Okay, I'm gonna write energy drink. Now, oh my goodness, look what we did. We watered seeds with regular water, sugar water, salt water, kombucha, tea, Coke, and energy drink. I wonder which ones will grow the best, or if some won't grow at all. That's a good question. Now, that's going to take a couple of days, but we're going to set that over in the sunshine, in my sunny window, to test it out. Okay, so now back to the FaceTime camera, and we've got one more really fun thing to get started here today. And we're back. We got one great project to do next. And I always wonder what's going on under the ground when the plants start to grow. And you know, we can see when the plant pokes up out of the ground and the leaves start to come out. What's going on underneath? What do plants have underneath? So we're going to make a seed jar, and maybe we can watch the roots grow along with the plant. And you can do this too. All you need is a canning jar, some paper towels, a little bit of water, and some more seeds. So get your canning jar. And the first thing we're going to do is a bunch of paper towel inside the canning jar. And I just put a bunch there, and I'm going to crush it up and stick it down inside my jar. And I'm going to use quite a bit of paper towel. And I'm going to stick it down in there. You can do this with napkins too. So if you don't have any paper towel, but you got napkins, that works as well. And I'm going to put one more. See how I crushed that down inside? Smush, smush, smush. I'm not using potting soil with this one because I want to be able to see the seeds all up close against the side of the jar because the jar is clear and I can see right through it. Okay, one more in here. So now, you know what? I'm going to need one more. I really think so. So there, I filled it right up to the top with paper towel, the whole jar. So now I'm going to take a little water, and I don't want to flood my jar. I just want to make that paper towel damp because we all know that seeds need water to grow. So I'm going to let that kind of soak in all the way down the side of my jar like this. But this is going to be really cool because we're going to be able to see how the seeds pop out some roots and pop out the leaves. Over time, over a couple of days, we'll be able to see that. They'll get the light from my sunny window. Whoop, uh-oh, I just watered my computer mouse. Okay. And let's see, how damp is that? Ooh, that's feeling really damp. So you can feel, you can stick your finger down in there. Oh yeah, my paper towels are pretty damp. That's just what the seed needs. All right. And okay, so now we got the jar all set up. Let's tuck some seeds down all along the side so we can see what happens when they start to grow. So I'm taking the seed in my hand and I'm sticking it down the side of my jar. Woo! Right up there. Can you see where I put my seed? And I'm going to do it all. Oops, I got one in the same spot. That's okay. All right, so I'm going to put one down over here, right along the side of the jar so I can see it. And right along the side of the jar so I can see it. Right up there. And I'm going to do a couple more. Ooh, I've got blue markers on my hand. I'm making my paper towel blue now. All right, so I put quite a bit of water in here, so I'm going to put a little bit more paper towel. I almost, there we go. All right, a little bit more, just a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to switch the camera really quickly so you can see up close how I tuck those seeds in against the side of the jar. Okay, so I'm going to turn my jar and let's see if you can see where the seeds are. Oh, there's one. There's one right there. Let's see. And I'm turning, oh, there's one. Where'd it go? Right there. So, and then there's one right there. And I put them all, oh, there's one right there, tucked down in. So every place I put a seed, you can see it right up against the side of the jar. So that's what we did. Now we have to wait on all of our experiments that we did today. We have to wait and see what happens because seeds take a little while to grow. So this, I'm going to sit in the sunny window in my den and I'm going to wait a couple days, and I want you to watch out for the roots. And then maybe you can get a magnifying glass and take a look at it and see if you can see little tiny hairs on the roots. And then you can take a look at it and see what happens when the leaves start to pop out of the seed and grow up. The roots will grow down and the leaves will grow up, and you'll be able to watch some seeds grow and find out what happens to seeds when they grow underground. And that's all of our projects today. So I hope you had some fun setting up all of those seeds, and it's going to be a lot of fun waiting for them to grow. All right, see you again next time. Bye. I saw something I had never ever seen before. And here's where you get to make a choice. Was it a giant Tyrannosaurus Rex? And I'm just gonna stick some pine cones in my box, and then the fun starts. I just start rolling them around. The air rushing out of the balloon is gonna push that balloon up. So let's see what happens. All right, 1, 2, 3. Oh, wow. So that's how rockets kind of work. We are going to build 2 different kinds of rockets today.
Put the cork on as fast as